Now we're going to be talking about the different ways of going about doing YouTube. So here's what we're going to be covering in this lesson. Something called niche channels, also known as outsourceable channels, which is really what this program focuses on. And then we're going to be covering personal channels, and then hybrid channels, and then I'm going to be giving you examples of all of these. And then finally, I'm going to go over the pros and cons of each to help you make your decision on which type of channel that you want to run. So first of all, let's go over niche channels. So niche channels, really one of the most prominent forms of niche channels are list videos. Now, I'm sure you're familiar with list videos if you've ever watched YouTube videos in your life. And these include top 10 videos, top 5 videos, covering a huge wide array of topics. There's list videos in so many different niches on YouTube. And typically, it's a narrator doing a voiceover with videos and pictures playing in the background of the video. And I'm sure you've seen videos like this on YouTube. And some more categories include animation videos, storytelling videos, educational videos, ASMR, meditation, cooking, life hacks, woodworking, crafts. There's so many different sub-niches for niche channels. It's really just channels that are focused on a single niche. And really the big thing about niche channels is that it's typically not even someone showing their face on the channel. So these are channels that can be run without you showing your face, without having to get in front of the camera. And there's a lot of pros of running niche channels. But before I go over the pros and cons of running niche channels, let's first of all go over some examples of good niche channels. Here are some examples of niche channels. The first of which is in the luxury niche, and it's a channel called Mr. Luxury. And feel free, by the way, to check out any of these channels in your free time. Feel free to go to YouTube, search these channels up, get Social Blade, see how many views per month that they're getting. Feel free to take a look at these channels yourself, and this might even help you get some ideas as well. So first of all, Mr. Luxury is within the luxury niche, and they just upload videos like the most expensive houses in the world, the top 10 most expensive private jets in the world, and basically just videos like that. The next channel is a channel called Top 15s, which is in the scary niche, and they just upload top 15 lists of different scary videos from around the internet, like top 15 scariest clowns that have been sighted, and some of these videos actually get a lot of views. And then we have the channel Top 10 Zone, which is in the tech niche, and they just upload basically a lot of different tech videos covering the top 10 best laptops you can buy off of Amazon, top 10 best electric bikes, and stuff like that. And then we have the channel Body Hub, which is in the health niche, and they upload a lot of videos like 3 easy tricks to gain muscle and how to lose weight fast, and basically videos like that. And then in the business niche, we have the channel Business Casual, which uploads basically stories of different entrepreneurs and business people throughout history. And then in the animal niche, and basically in the pet niche, we have Animal Facts, which mostly covers different dog breeds, comparing dog breeds against each other, top 10 reasons you should buy a certain dog breed, top 10 reasons you should adopt a certain dog breed, or the top 10 best dog breeds for if you live in an apartment or whatever your situation happens to be in. So these are just some examples of niche channels, and that's really what this program is focused on as well. It's focused on running these niche YouTube channels. So now let's talk about some of the pros and cons of running a niche channel to help you deduce if running a niche channel is for you. So the first pro of running a niche channel is the fact that it's scalable. You can run multiple different niche channels at the same time, and also you can hire other people to generate the content for you. That's really one of the most amazing things about niche channels. And also a great thing about niche channels is the fact that you can start generating the content yourself if you want to, or you can straight up hire people to generate the content for you off the bat as well. So another pro of running a niche channel is the fact that you don't have to show your face. And I know that's a pro for a lot of people, but really it comes down to being scalable, and it comes down to the fact that it doesn't rely only on you to keep the channel running. Now, this can be incredibly helpful if you want to ever take a break from running your channel and have the channel still run in the background, having videos produced for your channel without it relying only on you. It can be very freeing to have a niche channel. And also, due to the fact that it doesn't only rely on you, this is a potential asset that you could potentially be able to sell down the line. So YouTube channels by themselves don't usually sell for any money. However, YouTube channels are usually included as like a social media asset, and if you ever wanted to sell your YouTube channel down the line, not many people want to buy a channel that has your face on it. So in order to make this an asset that you could potentially sell down the line, a niche channel is a great way of going about doing YouTube. Now let's talk about some of the cons of running a niche channel. So in some niches, it can be harder to sell products due to the fact that it's someone, usually a host or a narrator, that's not showing their face or getting in front of a camera. So in some instances, there can be less trust between the channel creator and the viewers of the channel. And for that reason, it can be harder to sell products in certain niches. Now, in certain niches, it can be easier, which we'll be going over in this module as well. So now let's talk about personal channels. Now, this is where there's a personality who's the face of the channel, and this is basically what most people think about when they think about doing YouTube. They think about big YouTubers like PewDiePie and vlog channels that get behind a camera and make the videos themselves. And let's talk about the pros and cons of running a personal channel. Now, the pros is that sometimes it is easier to sell products with personal channels due to the fact that there's a lot of trust between the channel creator and the people who are watching the channel, partially because that person's getting in front of a camera, they're showing their face and everything like that. It's also easier to change niches if you ever wanted to in the future as well. Now, if you know anything about what I teach, I'm very anti changing niches, so I really don't ever suggest changing niches in the future. However, with a personal channel, if you're running a channel like a vlog channel or a channel that's mainly focused on your personality, then people are subscribing mainly for your personality. So if you ever wanted to change niches in the future, that's definitely a possibility if you were running a channel like that. And also, there's more trust as well. So you might get a higher view to subscriber ratio. Now let's talk about the cons of running a personal channel. It's less scalable, and that's mainly due to the fact that it requires you actually getting in front of a camera to film every single video, and it's dependent on the personality, who's ever the personality behind that channel. So those are the main cons of running a personal channel. You can't really sell this channel ever if you want to do in the future, or if you do, it'll be for significantly less than if you had a niche channel, because companies mainly, if they're looking to buy like social media assets, they're going to be looking for a niche channel that doesn't show their face or anything like that. Now, due to the fact that there is more trust when it comes to personal channels, it may be easier to get channel sponsorships in some instances, which I don't typically recommend sponsorships usually anyway. For some people, it can be a very good source of income. Now, with the channels that I run, I don't generally recommend sponsorships, but I personally haven't had any issues getting so many different companies reaching out to me to try to get sponsorships on some of my top channels, especially my top channel with over 1 million subscribers, and that's a niche channel where I don't even show my face. So those are just some things to consider when it comes to the pros and cons of running a personal channel. So now let's give some examples of personal channels. The first of which is my own personal channel called Make Money Matt, which is in the YouTube niche / make money online niche. And then we have the channel Dr. Ramani, who's a doctor who specializes in narcissism and different personality disorders, and that's in the psychology niche. And then we have the channel Dr. Eric Berg, who basically focuses on keto and healthy eating and stuff like that in the health niche. And then we have the channel So Luminati, which is a reaction channel reacting to popular memes and stuff and videos on the web. And then Marques Brownlee, also known as MKBHD, is a technology channel revealing all the latest technology. And then finally, we have Scotty Kilmer, who runs a car channel talking about how to fix certain things of your cars, reviewing cars, and stuff like that. These are just some examples of personal channels. Now let's talk about hybrid channels. So what is a hybrid channel? So a hybrid channel is a channel that doesn't completely fit into either category. It's not really a personal channel, and it's not really a niche channel all the way either. Now, these can be channels that have multiple hosts in which there are people actually getting in front of a camera for the channel. However, these are people who could potentially be replaced, or these are channels who already have multiple different people hosting the channels. So these can also be outsourced as well. So if you're running a hybrid channel, you can potentially hire a host to get in front of a camera and to be a host for that channel. And hybrid channels aren't channels that are named after the person who's getting in front of a camera. These won't be channels that have the host's name in the channel. They'll typically be similar to niche channels in their naming. So now to give you a better understanding, let's go over some examples of hybrid channels. Now, the first of which is a channel called Top 10s, and this is in the general top 10 niche, mainly focusing on more educational videos. And if you wanted to check out this channel, Top 10s, make sure to go to their featured channel section on their channel page, because the people behind this channel run a bunch of different channels doing basically hybrid channels as well. So these are channels in which there's a host behind the channel, as you can see right there on that image. There's a host who gets in front of a camera for these videos, but these are basically top 10 videos, and it's very similar to niche channels in that sense. And I would say this is more on the end of a niche channel, but at the same time, there is a host getting in front of the camera, filming the videos. But if this host ever wanted to switch out, he could. There could be someone else who took the place of this host in the future if they ever wanted to. And then we have the channel SciShow, which is in the science niche, which has a bunch of different hosts, and they produce videos, science-related videos, talking about certain things in nature and just science in general. And there are people who get in front of a camera for this channel. However, there's multiple different hosts for the channel, and it's not dependent on just one personality. That's really one of the key identifiers that separates this from a personal channel. It's not dependent on just one personality, and there's multiple hosts on the channel, but someone's still showing their face. And then we have a channel called Gravity Transformation, which is in the health niche, and this has a few different hosts as well, and this just talks about general health-related topics, like how to lose weight, how to gain muscle, stuff like that. So now let's talk about how to choose the right type of channel for you, because I'm sure that's what you're wondering at this point. Which type of channel should I actually run? And in order to help you with your decision, I've put together this little chart right here, which kind of brings in some of the pros and cons of running different channels, and really to ask yourself what your needs are for running a channel and what you want to accomplish with your channel. So, for instance, if you wanted to have scale, be able to run multiple different channels down the line, then really the main ways to go are either running a niche channel or a hybrid channel. This is how you would scale to making multiple different videos per day on your channel. Now, obviously, you could do this with a personal channel, but it does take a lot of time to be releasing multiple videos a day. And really, when I talk about scale for niche channels and hybrid channels, you could be running channels in multiple different niches as well. So, for instance, I only have one personal channel, and it would be extremely hard for me to have multiple different personal channels in different niches. For instance, I have my personal channel Make Money Matt, which is in the Make Money Online / YouTube niche. Now, if I were to be starting multiple different personal channels talking about different things, it would be incredibly hard to write the scripts, record the videos, and even if I did have the editing outsourced, because you can outsource certain aspects of running a personal channel, it's still not as scalable as running either a niche channel or a hybrid channel. So that's really the pros of running either of those types of channel. So if you want scale, I recommend starting with either a niche channel or a hybrid channel. Now, if you want to sell things easier, you may want to consider either doing a hybrid channel where you have a host who's a host for the channel, or doing a personal channel yourself. If you're like the face behind a business, your business or company or something like that, you might want to consider either a hybrid channel or a personal channel. For instance, on my personal channel, Make Money Matt, I sell this YouTube program, and it makes it a lot easier to sell this program when I'm actually getting in front of a camera and filming the videos myself. There's more trust between me and the viewers, and it's a lot easier to sell programs or to sell whatever you're selling, whatever kind of product, when you're getting in front of a camera, or at least having someone getting in front of a camera for that channel. So in that instance, it would be better to run a hybrid channel or a personal channel if you want to sell things easier. Now, if you want scale, and if you don't want to show your face, and you want a sellable asset, then niche channels are really the only way to go. If you want all three of those things, a niche channel is the channel for you. Now, if you want to sell things easier and you want scale, then you're going to want a hybrid channel, or at least consider running a hybrid channel. Now, real quick, I also want to touch on the fact that you can potentially run multiple different channels at the same time. But this lesson right here is really to help you choose your type of channel for your first initial channel that you're starting. Now, if you already have a YouTube channel, that's fine as well. This might help you think about if you want to start another channel in the future. However, I just wanted to make it a point that you can run multiple different channels at the same time. You can do all three of these techniques if you want. However, personal channels are very limited. So what I would recommend doing is starting a niche channel and then starting a personal channel, or if you have your personal channel right now, get that going good and then start a niche channel, or vice versa. There's so many different ways of going about doing this, and you really just have to ask yourself what you want. Think about all these different aspects and the pros and cons of running each of these different types of channels, and ask yourself, do I want scale? Do I want to not show my face on my channel? Do I want to show my face on my channel? Then I got to start a personal channel. But I can also have niche channels on the side, or maybe a hybrid channel, which also helps sell products as well, in which I hire a different host to host that channel. So these are just some things to think about when it comes to choosing a channel. So I hope you got a ton of value from this lesson, and I'll see you in the next lesson.